Alright. 1, 2, 3, go!
Waking up in a dream, sleep.
Alright, bet. Universal Deal 3, Universal Deal 3, man. Alright, bet. So, let me scoop back. Alright, so this video gonna be realizing who you are, an illusion of the world, basically. So, alright, how can I put it? Alright, let me see. Alright, so basically figuring out that you're more, so this is gonna be realizing who you are. When I'm saying realizing who you are, I'm gonna drop another video on like tools and stuff that you can use to know who to basically help you figure out more who you are, I guess. Alright, so figuring out that you're more than who the facade tells you are, like basically the false self, who would tell you, who society, family, social groups, whoever, your job, anybody tell you you are. Figuring out that you're more than that, or you more than just material possession, or like something else, you know what I mean? Even though I know it's, you feel me? I know how it is. There's nothing wrong with having material gain, but, and I'm not a Bible or religious person or nothing like that, but even the Bible says, man who sells his soul to gain the world, basically wrong or whatever, you feel me? Sell who you are basically to gain the world and shit like that. You ain't never gonna feel content anyway like that, but of course not literally, but meaning like you worth more than the shit that you selling your soul to gain in essence, even though you're not technically selling your soul. It's just like, you know, feel me? Or maybe you is, I don't know. The world, anything they would tell you, yeah, the world is an illusion. And when I'm saying like illusion, like a lot of shit that seem like what it is ain't what it is, basically. I'm gonna go into that more and have like actual examples and shit like that. But let me see. Even though I know a lot of the reason people put on facades and be who they are is because like shit that they went through and shit like that. But even with that, we not meant to, you know, be that person, you feel me? Just because the trauma making us be that person. And yeah, or I put, but I feel your experience is to push you to be who you actually are, or you gonna let it consume you, either one. So I put, let me see, yeah, trauma, or I feel like the things that keep somebody trapped or keep somebody believing in a fake facade is like trauma, extremes of emotion, neglect, greed, lust, addiction, validation, abandonment issues, shame, resentment. Like, it's hella shit, but this is just like some of the shit I wrote down. And you can be hiding it well with like shit on the outside that you so content with yourself, but you not. Or you could just be, you know, however you want to put it. The energy don't lie. And then this is expressed in like basically like the thought of illusion, or the thought of the world being illusion, is expressed in like many different religions. How can I say? Many different religions. Of course, I know it's like I'm pretty sure it's books on the world being illusion and shit like that, but I'm just going off of like shit that actually like people follow heavy in the world so they can see what I'm saying. Even though it's really for me, I'm just saying this shit so I can, you know, get it off my chest and shit. Book of religions, yeah, books that involve religions such as the Bible, Christianity, Hindu, following Hindu, the Egyptian shit, basically Egyptian texts, and just how they thought and how they went with life and shit like that. Astrology, of course, movies like The Matrix, the movie, this movie called The Movie 9. I'm gonna talk about all of these like later in the video. Another movie, I probably ain't gonna talk about this one, What Dreams May Come, where I just give a brief thing over shows like Rick and Morty, Avatar, just showing how like the world feel me, bigger than what it seems. If you see it, like it say like occult shit in it, which is basically an occult, not nothing scary or nothing like that. Occult, not a cult. I'm saying like secret. It's like basically secret culture, basically culture that was hid from us, or like made for us to believe some other shit that ain't true. But a Hindu, in the Hindu religion, like one of the people who are example of them dispelling the illusion is Kali, like basically the goddess of the Kali Yuga, or Kali Ma, however you want to put it. Basically destroyer of worlds. She cuts off her enemies' heads, meaning basically she just taking away the false self and showing you who you truly are without. I'm gonna read this, then I'm gonna go more into it. Basically, destroyer of worlds who cuts off enemies' heads. Enemies' heads taking their head off, the false self being the head, becoming who you truly are in real time, or addressing the shadow self, or basically just the other side of who you are. The false beliefs you're conditioned to believe by the subconscious mind, or just life in general, the people around you, anything. But yeah, basically Kali, she like sent here to like destroy fake facades and shit like that. People who not true to who they are, or not being truly who they are, if you know what I mean. And even with this, like looking at my own shit from my personal experience, how I know this shit line up with me is because like and I'm gonna go more into it when I go through the movie and shit, but what's her name? Yeah, this lady, I ain't gonna say her name because she be acting like she don't want people to mention her and stuff, but she cold. If somebody asks me, I'm gonna tell them though. She cold, she like, she basically somebody I know that just be, she deep into spiritual knowledge, and she like, she been doing it for like 20 years or something like that, and she told me like, and I didn't even know what it meant at the time, that I was a son of Kali. And it just makes sense even when I look at other things that line up with it, such as my birthday, and the meaning of certain shit that I just see, you feel me, and shit that I just do naturally without even thinking about it, like shit that I just, you feel me, type shit. But Egyptian way that they talk about how the world is an illusion and stuff is the wind of the heart. And if you think about it, like, they used to snatch away the mind, or they say take the brain out. Of course, I don't know if they did it literally or not, but basically just shunning the brain away and following the heart. So following who you truly supposed to be. And of course, this would be with like showing compassion, love, and all of that stuff, forgiveness and all of that, you know. Not saying forget, well, somebody told me forget and forgive, but I'll just say forgive. Don't forget that shit though. And basically Kali would be the Hindu example of weighing of the heart, if you think about it, because she gonna cut away your fake self and make you really come to terms with the demons you got inside of you, type shit, like the shit you got going on inside of you, instead of it just being cool and, you know, you just going along with the shit and not being aware of it, or maybe aware of it but you don't want to face it. Christianity, example of weighing of the heart, you know, I mean the whole story damn near, basically like the whole story, because the reason I say the whole story is because if you look at Jesus, like he always doing some righteous shit, and if you think about it, like that's what the heart's supposed to be. I ain't saying like I don't like people who take like certain texts literal. I think it's more so like to give you an outlook on, I ain't gonna say I don't like, it ain't that I don't like people, I just don't like that people take the text so literal, because it shouldn't be literally taken, especially when we, you know, spiritual beings having a human experience, but it's still spiritual even when we in the flesh and shit like that. But I'm just saying, yeah, and even if you look up, I ain't finna talk about it because there's plenty of people who done broke it down, like the occult meaning of Jesus and stuff, when he got his hand on his heart and the other in the air, basically like follow the heart. And people say as within, as without too. Basically, like you're a reflection of me, I'm a reflection of you, and stuff like that. Or like the whole universe is a reflection of me, and I'm a reflection of the universe, and shit like that. But yeah, and the cult movies that I put on here, I put, like I said, The Matrix, and then they just show like actual things that's in real life versus just saying occult meanings, like the Oracle and the Matrix. Oracles are actually real, and I'm pretty sure like other like people who still like deeper in society, or I mean not deeper in society, but because it is people who gatekeep knowledge, I believe, and try to keep you, but at the same time, it's really not gatekept no more. I don't feel like it's more so like either you gonna break out of the box and go towards it, or you not. But of course, it's oracles in real life. That's what I was saying. And in the movie, it show like the oracle knowing the future and multiple possibilities of the future. Of course, the movie really connected to like multiple religious texts, such as the Bible, I guess, because he's supposed to be the Messiah in the story if you watch the movie. But I'm gonna just leave that to y'all, because I know it's hella movies shit that break down the Matrix too. I'm just wrapping it into this because it showed a more visual look at how it's an illusion and shit like that. And the red and the blue pill, how they had a decision basically to take the red or the blue pill, basically basically either you're gonna be part of humanity or you're gonna be a part of the righteous. You feel me? Basically, that's what it was saying, or the real or the fake. You know what I mean? Yeah, basically, you're either gonna be in humanity or just the humanity world or the true world. And of course, it's your decision. And who am I to say which world is true? You decide that, I guess. But yeah, and basically one of the other pillars is gonna be you following your heart, your spirit, and your higher intuition. Basically the battle of the mind, like the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind, the real versus the illusion, what you believe and what you choose to believe. Yeah. Alright, so the last part I'm gonna break down is the movie of the number 9, occult ties, how it ties to existence, and how it ties to existence, and how it ties to the occult. Alright, so in the movie, it's this man who like an oversoul. He basically like infused his soul. Of course, you could probably look at it as like us walking around down here in this motherfucking like the source basically put us in these bodies and shit like that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep going. In this movie, basically this man who is considered an oversoul, he placed pieces of his soul in like 9 different puppets, and of course 9 is like really the highest number, and single digit numbers, if you know what I mean, like 1 through 9. You feel me? It don't go no higher than that with single digit numbers. Them the real true numbers, and even back in Egypt and stuff like that, they used to say that like 1 through 9 is the only real numbers. Yeah, he put his souls in. He basically put his souls in the little puppets and shit. Yeah. Alright, so and then he created this like human robot type machine. It was like an AI-ass machine, and it was creating other robots and shit to like go against humanity. Of course, it turned against them. You know how normal robot human movies go and shit. But yeah, it turned against them. They was having a war with the robots and shit, with technology and shit like that, which could be kinda, it could be looked at as like that's what we in today. Of course not physically, but mentally. If you see kids and shit like who always on who just obsessed with technology. Of course, it's not every kid in the world, but I'm just saying like who over obsessed with technology and consumed by technology and just like the negative effects of it, like porn. That's them the only one I could say with porn, TV shows, that basically put false narratives on people and shit like that. I'm gonna have another video on that too, like just TV shows that put false narratives on certain cultures and shit like that. But yeah, them is the main ones that I think. Alright, so what else? Alright, so where are we going? Yeah, he basically programmed the robot to make other robots and just create shit for humanity. They was really using it as a war machine, because you know how humanity get. They really just want to go to war and shit like that. But eventually they turned against him. They killed all humanity. The scientist was left. He put his soul in all 9 of these different puppets, 1 through 9. Basically, I would think would be saying just like the different aspects of his soul, but in reality, I guess it's the same. Or in the world we live in, it's the same, because like different life paths and shit. If you know what a life path is and shit like that, everybody's sitting here for different reasons. But alright, so and going down to like the different, I'm gonna really just break down 1 and 9, because they really to me was the main characters and had them. They was the leaders of the group, basically 9 and 1. Even though they butt heads and shit like that. I'm gonna start with 1. So 1 was basically, he was one of the first ones who was like more aware, but or I ain't gonna say more aware, he was just awake, because 9 wasn't even awake yet. Like, he was still sleeping wherever he was. Number 1, he basically was he was basically leading the group. He was leading the group, but of course, like, certain leadership ain't forever. He and even certain people. Now I'm gonna say 7 too, because 7 was a key person too. But number 1, number 1, he was like, even if you look at the movie, he had on like a whatever hat the Pope be wearing at the Vatican and shit like that. And they even was inside of a church or a Vatican. It was either a church or like some type of religious building. They was living inside of there, like hiding from the robots, when it was just the puppets and the robots left. But so number 1, he wearing like this Pope ass outfit and shit like that. And he even got the staff and shit and everything like he the Pope. And this is like real life down there, because you know, religious communities and religion and shit, that's really what run the world to an extent for a lot of people. It run their world. I feel like we all got our own worlds, but it run their world. So it just showed, because he was really leading them out of fear though, because he was like he had basically take, like, they was hiding away from the monsters and shit instead of fighting them, versus 7, who was with him at first, but she broke away. And you know, 7 is considered like a real spiritual number, like, you know what I mean? They say the Christ number, 7 days till Christ rose and shit like that. But yeah, like 7 considered like a Christ number. She broke away from him with a few of the other numbers, and they was in a separate building, because she was like out there fighting the robots and shit. Like, she wouldn't know, she was out there fighting and shit. But yeah, but now I'm gonna talk about 9. 9 was like, he was the last one to come awake, and they say, I was looking at somebody else breakdown of it, and it made sense, but of course I can relate it to myself in real life. So 9 was supposed to be like basically the one who break them out of the illusion, and the scientist knew this, because he left him with like the device he left them with the device, basically. He left him with the best device. It was like some type of it had like, it looked like I don't know if the symbols really had something to do with like esoteric knowledge or something, but he left him with like this little symbol that had like basically like little printouts of them, like shit that looked similar like to the Ankh or something like that, and then a few other symbols on it. And it was like what he used to infuse his soul into the puppets, basically. But yeah, he left him with like the biggest task and shit like that. So you know, 9, he come awake and shit. 9 come awake and basically like off rip, well, I ain't gonna say off rip, but far into it, like he one of the ones who basically like he hard head too. Like he ain't just finna follow 1, like, you feel me, right off the rip, because 2 had got snatched, and he like, nah, we ain't doing that. Like, he trying to go and save two, cause two really risked his life for him. Like, you gotta watch it. It was hard. I ain't gonna lie. It was really some gangster shit. I don't care what nobody say. Two was like really the one who two saved 9 basically, or he ain't saved. Well, he risked his life for 9 type shit, and he got captured and shit. And 9 like talking to 1, and he like, damn, we can't go get, you feel me? We can't go get 2. He like, nah, it's too dangerous. This and that. We gotta leave him where he at on some hoe shit. You feel me? And then 9, like, you feel me? Basically, like, I don't care what you talking about. I gotta go save you, man. He took one of the other numbers with him who was like, and they snuck out and went to go get him type shit. But, you know, I'm gonna just let y'all watch it. I ain't gonna tell the whole movie, but basically that's how 9 and 1 got into it, because he was believing, like, basically believing in himself, like, you feel me? I gotta make it happen this way. I can't be sitting back being scared doing it that way, because that's the scared way. That's the fear way, you feel me? But, yeah, and it just show how real life is, because, like, that's how a lot of religions is forced on people out of fear. I ain't gonna lie. That's how people roped into it, out of fear. But, yeah, and then, let me see. What else can I say about 9? I ain't gonna lie. This movie was hard. You gotta watch this movie. But 9, he was like, you feel me? He took, let me think. Where was I at? I got geeked and forgot. Alright, so I'm gonna just skip to the end of the whole thing, but basically they was, when I was looking at somebody else, and 9 is the number to completion, the end type shit, so like he was bringing the ending, basically, like he's bringing that shit to completion, if you know what I mean, like, cause the world was damn near over, like, and he was like waking up in the last season, if you know what I mean, like, when it was them versus like the last few robots type shit, but of course, him bringing that different train of thought, that would be like, him bringing that, like, cause that's what a cult is, like a deeper, basically a deeper culture, or a hidden culture. So it's like, he bringing that deeper train of thought. That's not like, this ain't got shit to do with no fear. This just got to do with, you feel me? Like the real, how he feel for real, like on God, or how he feel, because we gonna say he didn't even know his purpose, probably damn near the whole story until the end, like, you feel me, when he completed everything. But yeah, basically following his heart and shit. So everybody, so a few of the numbers died throughout the story and shit, got their soul like absorbed by the robot, and of course one of the little puppet things, they was looking at the thing, and they could see the souls getting trapped inside the robot and shit, and they was like, we can't basically kill the robot yet, because we got to get the souls out. But 1 was, of course, out of fear, he trying to kill the robot, but 1 came through at the end. That's what I'm gonna say. 1 came through at the end, so you gotta watch it. But yeah, and eventually 9 figured out how to snatch the little piece out of the robot that was basically harboring their souls type shit. And he did, like, if you want to look at it as like some type of shamanistic practice or something like that, like a seance or something, where he basically released their souls out of the amulet type shit, and they like rose, you feel me? Like their bodies was free basically from the, I guess you could say the robot was representing the Matrix in a way type shit. But they was free from basically just the illusion and shit like that. But yeah, you gotta go watch that movie. I think you might come up with your own definition of how you feel it is or whatever, but that movie was hard. That's damn near all I got. And hold on, I'm gonna say one more thing. Even at the end of the movie, like, when they souls rose and shit like that, like, he damn near started a whole new society type shit, or a whole new movement type shit, you feel me? Like, it was hard. You just gotta go watch it. That motherfucker was hard. Cause I feel like it got a lot to do with just real life type shit. Real talk though. Universal Dead 3, man. Love, man.